What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream coming at you from North Texas. It's a beautiful late summer day here. It's only about 85 degrees outside right now, a little bit of overcast and some rain. Couldn't be a better day to set up for a live stream for you guys. Last night on my way home, I was notified that the PMDG 737-600 was dropping out. And Town of the Gamer, that's going to do you in for the rest of the day. Appreciate you stopping by. But man, I was like, oh, the 737-600 finally came out. I was driving home. It was too late. I couldn't get back to check it out at the office. For those of you who don't know, I stream from an office. So today, I had to make some time. I wanted to get in the 737-600. I know this aircraft, some people aren't really excited about it, don't really want it. For me personally, I am very excited for the 600 because to me, this is going to be my retro. This is going to be my 500. I've always wanted a PMDG 73500, but it just has never come to fruition, and we don't really have any classics. I used to fly on the Southwest 737-500s a lot as growing up, going to see my folks and all that. So this is going to be my little 500 imitator. Of course, it is a 600. I love it. I also love the fact that they have the no sharklets out here, or not sharklets, no winglets on the 737-600, just the old classic looking airplane. So for me personally, I know it's not going to be super exciting for a lot of you guys, maybe, but I think it will be. This is going to be my souped up little pocket rocket. I can almost compare this to, say, like an A319. You got the 320, the 321, but the 19 to me is one of the most fun to fly. It's sporty. You can do whatever you want to it. It gets up, it gets down. The 600 here, I feel, is kind of in the same boat. The 700 is good too. The 800 is just blah. And where everybody loves the 737-800 because everybody flies them, I really, I don't really care because it's just so common. I like the stuff that's a little bit less common. So I'm excited for it. I hope you guys are too. I had to pick a livery that looked pretty good. I thought this looks pretty sweet here. I never even knew this existed, but a cool looking livery. I know it's a Canadian registration. Hey, Canadians fly up north. We're flying polar opposites down here. This could be a charter flight. Who knows? I think it's going to be a fun one. Got the little eyebrow windows up here too. I love that. So I'm excited to take it for a little ride. We are picking up where we left off in Ushuaia, and we're going to go up to... I have to look it up again. I couldn't even remember the name of it. But we're going back northbound. I got a little scenery up there as well. By the way, all these sceneries that I've been flying into, the Simulation Extrema down here in South America, they're all on sale right now. They're like $9, like $10. So if you like what you see, that would be a good time to pick them up because they are for sale. I also picked up the destination that we're going to has this little airport scenery as well. So it looks pretty good. It should be a fun little flight. Look at the reflection, the PBR off that. Look at that. That is just so cool. Man, I absolutely love it. Good to see you, Javier. Caliphate, thank you very much. Is it Caliphate? Is that how you say it? Danny Rubel, good to see you, man. Rashid, good to see you. Jeremy, what's up, man? Good to see you as well. Maze Shook, Javier, Bella, good to see you. Dan86, always a pleasure. Says, good evening from Bucharest. I'm so excited for the stream. I have the 700, don't know about the 600. Awesome. Well, hopefully we can get some of those questions answered for you. Ashley L, good to see you. Excited to catch it live. Welcome to be here. Jeremy, I believe, is that Jeremy Harvey in chat? Or is that just another Jeremy? What's up, man? Good to see you. Andy, always a pleasure. Fubar, always a pleasure as well. Stephen Hainer, Dougie Scott, Ginar Hoffin, and many more. Mr. Martini, good to see you, my friend. Blake Renton as well is in the house. Awesome stuff. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this thing fired up here. The one thing I will say that I just, still drives me nuts, and I never knew that it would drive me nuts, but, the lack of being able to just have all the ground services do their thing on time. You have to come in here manually and select what you want to do, which I just is like, man, it's just, why can't we just have it, do it all at the same time? Because you have to come in here and manually select the ground service and what you want. So I want to go ahead and request ground power. Let's go ahead and get this thing fired up, shall we? You can see pretty similar cockpit. I do have the HUD, or is it the HGS installed on this one? We might take a look at that today. I got all the souped up avionics. I got the high performance kit, the short field performance kit. I put steel brakes on it just because I wanted to, I don't know, I wanted to switch it from carbon. Carbon is too common now. And I think steel is, maybe steel is a little bit more resistant to heat. I don't know. We'll see. Let's go ahead and fire it up. Battery power can come on here. And we'll go ahead and arm the emergency exit lights. And we'll go ground power on bus. Can you get everything in a panel save state? Heinz, yes, you can. So, and how to do that, and this took me a little while to figure this out for the 700 as well, but you go to PMDG setup, and when you first load the airplane, it's going to say startup state, and there's a bunch of dashes here. You just click this push button, and it will then move you automatically to the panel states, and then it will ask you to select the panel state, and then that will be the default state. What you can also do is set up your configuration like however you want it, whether just battery on, GPU on, however you want to set it up, and then you can save that panel state and name it like say custom 1, and then you could make that your startup state automatically, which is really kind of cool. I do like the fact that they have that here in PMDG for this same thing as the 700, you know, but that is a neat little thing that, you know, the Phoenix is cool. We have our options. You can't really save a custom state per se. This one you definitely can. So all right, let's go ahead and get the rest of the airplane booted up here. Before I go FMC, let's go up to the overhead. Good to see you back in the Boeing. Indeed, indeed. It's been a while since we've been in the Boeing, hasn't it? Let's go ahead and get to align nav. We'll do that. We'll go ahead and put this into heading STS mode. Let's see here, a little flap. That's cool. Flight recorder, test. Very good. Stall warning. Shaker, oh, we don't have power. We have to have power for, I forget how many minutes for the shaker to work. That looks good. Dome light is off. We have crew oxygen. We'll continue to come down the overhead here. I am on GPU power. You can see here our volts and amps. That looks good. Coming down the overhead. We'll leave the yaw damper off. We'll leave the fuel pumps off for now. How are our lights looking? We'll keep the logo lights on. Position lights are on. Everything else can stay off. That looks good. And going up the right-hand side, pretty much everything is set for sitting at the gate here. So that looks good. In Caliphate, there is one of the few glaciers that aren't retreating. It's huge, and you can have whiskey with ice from the glacier. That's awesome, Javier. Did not know it, man. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm excited to fly up there as well. And as you guys know, 100% South America is my official bucket list vacation area now. So cannot wait to plan a vacation to come down here. I really want to. It's just flying this South America tour has really opened my eyes to the terrain and how beautiful it's down here, and I would love to see it for myself. So all right, let's get our pause init done. We're in SAWH. We'll reference that. We'll go over here, take GPS left, bring it back, put you there. We'll go route mode, SAW. Destination is SAWC, SAWC. We'll throw that in there. Let me pull up my flight plan that I filed. I love how the designers just decided to distribute the switches by rolling the dice. Exactly, man. Exactly. Tyler Smith, thank you for your 12 months of continued support. He says, is this the 319 of the Boeing world? Tyler Smith, I believe it is. And that's exactly why I'm excited about this one. You know, I know a lot of people, this one's kind of flowing under the radar for a lot of people because they're like, oh, I'm waiting for the 800. For me personally, I may not even get the 800. I know that may boggle a lot of your minds, but the 800 is so common. It's like, meh, you know, just meh. I like things that are unique. I like to be different, right? I love the 600, and I wouldn't say I love the 600 per se. I don't think I've ever flown on a 600, but it's going to be my pseudo 73500. So, all right, there is our transition. We'll go ahead and route, activate that, execute. Next page from Rami, we're going to take Gulf 550, G550. Interesting airway there. Nice, that's a nice airplane, G550, to November Alpha Sierra. And those are two of them. We'll execute that. From NAS, we're going to pick up a Bravo 432. This should be a cool route, too. It's not quite as far over the Andes as when we came down. It's a little bit further towards the east, but we're landing pretty much central portion of the continent down here. So it'd be kind of cool to see the scenery up all the way up there. B432 to Mooner intersection, Mike Uniform November Echo Romeo. We'll throw that in there, execute. From there, we're going to pick up an arrival, and I think I'm going to actually try to fly an ARC in this thing. So I want to do the ILS, I have it here saved, ILS Yankee 25 from Whiskey Charlie 336. Can I do that? So I want to do the Yankee 25, and it was Whiskey Charlie, what did we say? 336 is what I want. Whiskey Charlie 336. Okay, and then the arrival that we're supposed to be on is the Mooner, but let's take a look at the arrival. I don't know if we're going to use it. So this is the Mooner 1 Quebec. And this takes you all the way up to, yeah, see this kind of, does that say porno? Oh, pawn row. Interesting. I thought, yeah, okay. That's a flyover waypoint, interesting enough. I'm going to not do the star because I think it'd be fun to just fly the arc. You know, we can all fly arrivals. Let's fly an arc in this thing. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but it should be fun. We're going to fly an arc, so we're just not even going to use an arrival. So we're going to go direct from Mooner to the initial approach fix on the Yankee ILS, which is here. Whiskey Charlie 336. It's kind of out of the way. It's probably not the most efficient way to fly it, but I think it'd be fun. It looks like there's some mountains we can take a look at too. So no star. We'll go ahead and execute that. Let me look at the legs page here, and then we can kind of see what's going on here. So from Mooner, and then we're going to go direct Whiskey Charlie 336. So I'm going to copy that, post it there, execute. Now if we step through our flight plan, we'll go plan mode. And let's go ahead and step through this. NAS, Mooner. Oh yeah, that looks good. That should be fun. That should be a scenic approach. We're doing it for cinematic purposes. Peruvian slip. Jeremy Harvey, what's going on, man? Good to see you. There you are. There you are. The Stash 700 is the 319. The 800 is the 319. The 800 is the 319, and the 900 is the 320, and the 600 is the 318. Oh, I see where you're going. Yeah. You could. That's true, Jeremy. You're probably more right with that analogy. The 600 is more of an A318. Yeah, you're probably right with that. I like it. All right, our route looks good. So we've got that done. A knit ref. We're going to leave this pretty much blank until we finish. Our cruise altitude is 32,000 feet. Throw that in there. And our N1 limits. We're not going to do any derates or anything like that. Takeoff speeds will be. We're going to do flaps 5 when it's time, but we're going to finish the init. So let's go ahead and finish the ground services here. So let's go ahead and start the fueling process. We need 13,500. We're going to go ahead and start boarding as well. We no longer need the forward galley cart. Let's go ahead and pull him out. Let's go ahead and start loading. Hopefully we don't do a tail stand here. We probably should load. Do we need a tail stand? I don't know. We're going to find out. So we're going to get rid of that forward galley catering truck. We're going to start throwing bags down here. I like that wing view right there, though. Still no radius to fix legs. Nope, not on this one, man. Not on this one. I still haven't figured out where to copy the 700 nav data to the 600 Breadmaster. I haven't messed with it yet myself. You have to do it manually. I know that, though. But I just, yeah, if I figure it out, I'll let you know, but I haven't even attempted that. I knew this database had enough waypoints for this particular flight, so we're just going to rock it this way. All right. I guess we can fire up the APU as well. Let's listen to sound. So we're going to have fuel pump on. Let's take a listen to the sound set here. We'll fire up the APU. Steven, yeah, speaking of the 736 as a pseudo 73 Classic, I know Southwest used to fit their NGs with avionics that mimic those in the 73 Classic. I don't know. I don't think it's an option in the PMDG, though. Yep, it is not. What you see is what you get avionics-wise, minus a few little details here and there. Here it comes. Here it comes, Chaos. Flicks, I did not see that. Fly-by-wire has released the terrain radar. Very cool. We're going to have to fire that sucker up on the next stream. I think we're gonna have quite a few streams in next week, guys. I think we're gonna make some significant headway northbound on the South America tour next week. So definitely, probably Monday. I'd like to do at least 3 streams next week. Do you actually hear purple boarding when you hit start boarding? No, you do not. But all it does is it gets your boarding to start, though. I wish you could hear them, you know. Again, this is where you talk about room for improvements. You know, you talk about the fly-by-wire sound pack. It's obviously the best sound pack in any sim because it's so immersive. When you hit start here, it would be nice to hear a little bit of boarding sound. Now, you can make that happen with maybe FS Realistic. Speaking of, let me see mine. I have my FS Realistic here, but I turned down people effect. Let me see here. Breathing, cabin ambience. I turned that off. But like, you know, you can have, so you hear that. But I don't, you know, I can live without it. So as soon as they're done, they're on arrival hold. What are they waiting for? Probably the forward carts, right? Oh, maybe yeah, let's go ahead and do this. We're on APU, right? So let's go APU on bus. Ground power is indeed off. And let's go ahead and go back down here. Let's go ahead and go return. Let's go ground service again. We'll go release ground power. Disconnecting ground power. Fuel truck is still pumping gas. We're still boarding there. And we're still boarding there. Alright, let's go ahead and get the APU bleed on at the gates. Let's go PAX auto at the gate. We'll go APU bleed on, get some air flowing in the cabin. We'll continue to flush some stuff here. We'll go seatbelts on, chime on. And everything else looks good. Our cruise altitude, 320. Landing altitude is 647, so we'll call it 650. $650 is set. We're in auto mode. You see our doors are open. Cool. Hey everyone, my coworker smells like piss and onions at the hint of ketchup. Have you ever had to deal with a co-pilot who smelled bad? I have. Back in my freight days, I had a trainee that would eat a ton of very ethnic food before flying, and it was pretty hard to overcome in a 110 degree heat. You know, just no air, sweating next to each other. It got to the point where I just said, hey man, can we maybe not eat that when it's super hot? Like, it's kind of nauseating. But it happens. We need boarding music. I'm a little AC/DC Thunderstruck. Oh yeah, we could do a little AC/DC Thunderstruck. That'd be good. What's up, Big One? Good to see you, my friend. I don't have PAX as a lady's voice is annoying and you can't change voice sets. You know, Patrick, I was wondering about that as well, because I've seen people use PAX, that plugin, but I did not, I was not aware if you could change it or not, the voices, and if you can't, I definitely won't get it. I'm going to hit the magic barrel key. 2.9 or 2.3 is the barrel. Good grief. 2.9 or 2.3 is set. I don't have any ATC. Let's just go ahead and finish our setup here. We'll set our top altitude of flight level 320. Right there. And how are we looking on boarding? We probably start, okay, good. We can release the aft, released him. As soon as he shows up, we're going to start forward boarding. How is our fuel looking? Fuel density is 6.64, interesting. Fuel truck is done. We'll go ahead and release him. And well, we just got to wait for the other baggage cart to show up. Why should I get the 700 for $75 when the 600, which is almost the same, is $35? You bring up a very good point, Drini. You bring up a very good point. If you don't want the 700, get the 600. You know, because it is very similar. You know, there are some differences, but in my 100% honest opinion with you, and this is just my opinion, my preference, I think the 600 and 700 are better looking than an 800 and a 900. You know, I will probably get the 900 just because the 900 is kind of like a 321. The 800 is just so common. It's just, I don't know why. I personally don't get excited about the 800. I know that's going to make a lot of people be like, what? But this is my pseudo classic. My 700 is going to be basically everything else. I guess it would be kind of fun to fly a brushed aluminum 73800 on American. That would be kind of cool, so I might pick up the 800. But I just love the short little airplanes, man. I think they're just fun and unique to fly. Why are you not arriving? There we go. Need these cargoes. We don't want to leave all these bags behind. Pricing structure makes no sense. It's an interesting one, Jeff. That would make the 600 the cheapest study level airliner at $34. I think you are correct. I think you are correct. I never thought of it that way, you know, just skip the 700, buy the 600, and then buy the 800. I don't know. Never thought about it that way. I initially thought that all of them were supposed to be priced the same. I was kind of surprised when PMDG came out and said it was going to be $34 or whatever it is. Flick says, I gave you one, basically see the 800 everywhere, whereas the 700 is a bit less common. Yeah. I like to do things in the sim that are less common, you know? But that's probably contrary to what a lot of people want. A lot of home simmers, they want to do the most realistic thing, right? Which would be to fly an 800 in a proper livery. But man, if anyone out there is a livery maker and you make an Old America West livery in this puppy, a Southwest livery in this, like there actually is a Southwest livery, which I already have. Who else would have flown like the classic? Shoot, even an old US Airways. I will have a field day. I will probably fly this 600 more than the 700, which is crazy. But when this released, it's interesting. I looked at my PMDG account this morning when I picked up the airplane. I'm like all the way back in 2011, I think is when I bought my first PMDG airplane, 2011. And then I have all the other purchases from FSX in there. But when they released, I think it was the 600 in FSX, man, I flew the crap out of the 600 in FSX. Knox, yeah, right there with you. I'm flying the BAE and so excited for the Fokker, the 28 and the 732. Oh, Knox, I was going to fly the BAE today. I was going to fly the 146 today. I put a vote out there for the commercial pilots, and they voted for the 737-600, so we're going to rock this one today. But we are going to get back in the BAE. Have no fear. I don't know if Mexicana flew the 600, Tyson. Interesting. Jeremy, yeah, they fly the 7 and 800 all the time. True, but when I was growing up, Jeremy, I flew 300s and 500s and 200s. You know, I remember the 200s as a kid. I loved getting on the 200s. Sitting the first time I saw that bucket reverser deploy back here in a 7.3-200, freaking awesome. Awesome stuff. All right, we've got to get going here. What do we got? So they are done. We can go ahead and release the passenger bus. Let's release the stairs. Let's get rid of the aft galley. Almost done on cargo, so we're just about there. What else can we do? We can set 122.8 here. That is set. We can squawk 2,000 down here. And we are in transponder mode. We'll just do TA only. Actually, we'll just keep it in XPDR mode. That's right. That is good. Everything else looks good. We're COM 1, VHF 1. Do I have this even bound correctly? Hopefully I do. Push to top. Apply. Okay. There we go. 122.8. Stand it over. Boom. 122.8 is up, just in case we need it. Got to take a white bus ride to Janet 37. Oh yeah, Al, we're gonna do a Janet flight for sure. I see those guys all the time in Vegas. All right, everything else looks good. As soon as that is done loading, we can finish everything else. Let's do our weather radar, which doesn't work. We can turn that off. This gives us rings though. We could do terrain. We have terrain on both sides. Let's take a look at our departure procedure because it looks like there's a little bit of stuff to it here. Let's go back to our departure airport. And let's pull out the charts here. We're on the, what did I say? Ushuaia. To Bravo? Yep. Alright, so let's clear that out. So for departing, off 25, basically a climbing left turn, 070. Interesting. Out here, and then you come all the way back around. Wow, this is a interesting little departure procedure. Fly out, we come back around, basically climbing out the whole time. We've got some constraints in there. They seem to be in the box. That looks good. Anything we could hard tune? I guess there's really nothing I really need to worry about hard tuning. I guess we could set up VOR 1 and 2 with maybe the Loke and Ushuaia. So we could do 13.7 on one of them. Let's do 13.7 on number 2. And then for number 1, let's do 111.3. Just in case something were to happen, we need to get them tuned up. We've got them loaded up there. Basically climbing left turn, out, back around, and then we're going to climb out on to the Romev fix. What's happening here? Alright, that looks good. Consider yourself briefed on the departure. And look at that, we're done. Release, release. Boarding is completed. Doors are closed. Alright, let's go ahead and set this up. We're going to go yaw damper on. Fuel pumps are coming on. Let's get the anti-collision light on. Let's get packs off. Let's go ahead and get our hydraulics on for pushback. Probe heats are on. And I think that looks pretty good for start. We can also do the PMDG pushback down here. So we'll go pushback. Let's go ahead and connect tub. Go ahead and remove chocks. TPX 200. I think this is just a flight sim tug that's stuck here. And let's go ahead. Oh, before we move, let's finish. Init ref, we're going cost index 88. 10960 fuel weight, reserve 2000. Execute. Done. Not going to mess with that. N1 limit. No derate. All 22,000 pounds. Takeoff speeds. Our CG was payload 23.2, which is 5.2 on the units. 118, 119, 129. So we need to set 5. What was it? 5.22. Come on, baby. Alright, that is set. Let's go ahead and commence our pushback.
Cockpit to ground. Go ahead. We've been cleared for pushback and start straight back. Roger that. Ready for push straight back. Release the brakes, please.
Brakes released, clear to push.
Brakes released.
Wait to the show, brother. The 600N can also be bumped from 22 to 24 in the N1 limit. Interesting. Did not know that, Cirque. Oh, Flix. That's why it moves so slow. I gotcha. After the flaps are down, since the trim wheel moves faster when flaps are down. Interesting, Flix. I did not know that. Makes sense, though. Oh, look at that little 600. So cute. Look at that one over there. See, I wish we had that livery. Oh, hello. Proper airplane, although it looks like it's from out of a cartoon with that mismatched livery. But look at that 600, though. You cannot tell me that does not look pretty sweet. We've got our tiller on. We're going to back taxi, or I think we have to back taxi 25. So we go ahead and stop right there. That seems good enough. And to set the brake on the 600, I don't know if it's the same on 700, you go full down on the brake pedals, and then you have to pull this lever up. You can see I also modified to like the next gen start switches, not the old school Boeing ones. So I've kind of hodgepodged this particular livery to be my, just to be my little mess around airplane with. All right, let's put you on the legs page, I guess. We'll leave the takeoff reference on this side, and let's go ahead and ground numero 2. No, Embraers. Oh, do they have common type ratings like the Airbus? Yeah, 175, 195. Same type, however, you do need differences training. So you can solely be a 175 driver. I flew the 190 and the 175, but same type rating initially correct. Gonna get V1 drinking, making asados in no time. Full Argentina mode. Oh yeah. Sounds like we got a good start on one. All right, start valve is closed, and let's go ahead and ground number 1. Starter valve open. I wish I could bind the actual start switch. I gotta figure out how to bind that. Max motoring, hit it. Pretty good start sounds. Not bad. Not bad on the start sounds. Anyone know if the fly-by-wire ground radar working? I have not messed with it yet. I was actually just notified that they have it implemented, so it'd be cool to check out. Alright, we're waiting for the starter valve open light. There it goes. We got 2 good starts. Let's go ahead and go on bus. Go ahead and turn off the APU. Flight, and auto, off, auto. That looks good. Pressurization is set. Nothing in the center tank. Overhead looks good. Window heat's coming on. And that looks good. Gen 1, Gen 2. Galley power is on, right? It is. Recall checked. We're going flaps 5 for departure. Take a listen to these flap sounds. Note that hit it is a proper realistic call out for when you introduce fuel in the 737NG. Really? I didn't know that, Steven. That's cool. That's flaps 2. We need to go one more to flaps 5. Do the flaps sound different? I feel like they do sound a little bit different. Maybe not. I feel like they sound different, though. All right, RTO is there. Auto brakes are off. Let's go before I should have done this. 1, 2, LNAV, VNAV. Ushuaia traffic. Bourbon 357 going to taxi 25. Ushuaia. Nope, it's not Ushuaia. I forget how to say it. Usawi. Someone had the pronunciation in chat. I forget how to do it. I forget how to say it. Just like yoga's proper call out when you hit the Toga button. Oh, okay. I gotcha. Usua. Usaiya. 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 I mean, come on. That little 600 looks sweet, does it not? I think it looks sweet. Did we ever turn the taxi light on? We didn't. Usaiya. Ushuaia. I'm gonna figure out how to pronounce it because I am gonna come down here. This is my probably #1 now bucket list vacation. Just because I want to. Never even thought of it. You know, everyone likes to travel to islands, Caribbean. Here in the States, we like to go to Europe. Well, a lot of people do anyway, but man, for me, next vacation, 100%, I'm coming to South America. It's already been decided. Swiss Tony, I think so too, don't you? Oh, look at that, with the Aerolíneas Argentinas in the background there. I like this livery because it has a little red number there on the door. I like that red. That red and gray is just a cool color. Probably recognize that from the bourbon livery. This is not a taxiway, my friend. Where are you going? Yeah, that's a no-go. So we need to go ahead and fix this. We got to do a 180 here. We are gonna back taxi, I guess. Yusu Aiya. It's like when I shout out on some Lego. After standing on a Lego. Oh man. I'm pretty sure a nose went into the snow on this turn, but hey, real fake pilots in chat. It's not my fault. Don't have a EFB. Is Janet a military or charter thing? They are a charter. They're a government charter. Not necessarily military, not necessarily real. They just are there. No one knows about them. No one talks about them. But pretty crazy when you think about it. They can keep it a secret for so many years. Usaya traffic, a Bourbon 357 back taxi 25. Looked at Usaya online after yesterday's stream. Reminds me somewhat of Reykjavik. Yes. Gotta go, definitely. You know, my sister actually just came from, just had a vacation out there. Hal W, yeah. Allegedly. Yeah, Janet allegedly exists. Winds here are 240 at 2-2. Beautiful. Remark conditions you say observe. Thank you very much, Eagle One. We got proper barrel 2933 is set. If we put it in hectopascals, yeah, that's 990 hectopascals. So that would be correct indeed. So I can brighten up these DUs just a little bit here. Get a little background light up on there too. Oh yeah, now we're talking. We can go ahead and hide this page for takeoff, right? Because they're going to use that for if there's an abnormal. Takeoff config check. That's done. We'll go ahead and get the yoke cam up and ready to go here. Blue Bear, welcome to the stream, man. Welcome. Just in time. Back taxiing 2-5 for departure. I think PMDG really listened and set a great price for this bird. Last week I got the analog mod for the Caravan, which is just a cockpit mod for the default planes for the same 35. Dan, okay, two things. One, I agree with you. I think they did set a good price for it. Two, how is the analog Caravan mod? I'm really looking forward to that. I saw that they're also going to do the King Air. I will 103% get the King Air one as soon as it drops. I've been looking closely at that Caravan mod, but then I kind of toss up. I mean, would I rather have that Caravan analog gauge mod, or would I rather just get the Kodiak? So I don't know. Engine start mode should be in continuous. Flight is for restarting engines in the air. Dang it. Thank you. I had a 50-50 chance there, Ben. I messed it up. Thank you. All right, we'll go ahead and bring our range down. Let's go ahead and get our TCAS on to TARA. Analog Caravan is great. Nice. I just, see, the only reason that held me back from the Kodiak is I didn't want a Kodiak with another G1000. It's weird. I do not like glass cockpits in simulators, but in real life, I would much rather have a glass cockpit. But on the sim, I want the old school gauges. All the airlines planes have Toga thrust? Yes. So a flex takeoff in the Airbus or a derated takeoff in the Boeing, it achieves essentially the same thing. Not every takeoff requires maximum thrust, and that is why, depending on the manufacturer, you have either a flex takeoff, a derate takeoff, but full thrust is always an option. You're correct. All right, we're going to go over here. We'll set our MCP speed. We'll set our auto thrust up as well. I've got tiller full over. I guess I needed to swing a little bit wider. But I mean, the acceleration on this thing, we're going to be totally fine. All right, our V2 is 129. Auto throttle is armed. Let's get our lights on. USIA traffic at Bourbon 357 departing runway 25. Let's get lined up here. Alright, you cannot tell me that doesn't look sweet. It looks weird without a nose light and a taxi light when you have the LED mod, but that's just Boeing being Boeing. Look at that. Cute little airplane. Alright. Here we go. We are going to move the yoke out of the way of the microphone. Number one. We're going to move the microphone out of the yoke position. There we go. Nose forward. Let's spool them up 50. Yoga's in chat. Here we go. Yoga. Nice. Wow, look at that acceleration. Holy crap, look at that acceleration. Oh my gosh.
Positive reading climb.
Fly with, watch your ears. My goodness. That was insane. N1, LNAV, VNAV speed. In the turn, and the bank angle check to the left. I mean, I gotta hand it to PMDG though. The flight model feels so good. Go ahead and select flaps 1. 195 flaps up. Clean up that wing. Jackson Hole and the 600 are made for each other, indeed. Pretty sure there might have been a speed. Might have been a turn radius limit here that I did not comply with. Improper briefing. Let's go ahead and go auto brake off, landing gear lever off. We're not really on the departure anymore, but that's right. I kind of want to hand fly it anyway. It looks like that ship is stuck in the ice. All right, there's 250 knots. Let's go ahead and get back up into the command bars. We got to turn all the way around and intercept. Bank angle check. Nice. Oh, look at that view. I love the 7.3 wing without a winglet on there. It looks so good. Changed my mind. That's how a 7.3 wing should look. Alright, we've got the intercept. Let's come back to the right. Man, that's neat. Little pocket rocket. Yeah, no lie, space program, no lie, man. The climb performance on this thing. We're approaching 10,000. Let's go ahead and kill the lights. Usaya traffic, Bourbon 357 out of 10,000, departing to the north. Last call. As we turn southbound. Graphic settings are pretty much on Ultra TLQ. Purpose of the winglets on the 73700? Fuel efficiency. They do make a substantial difference. They really do. Whether it's a winglet or a sharklet on an Airbus, the winglets do make a substantial difference. Was it 3% or 7%? I want to say it was more than 3%. But even if it was 3%, think about 3% on every single flight, every single day on all your fleet. It will definitely add up. And in the age of high fuel cost, I mean, that's a big deal. So winglets definitely add fuel saving. They reduce the induced drag from the vortices off the end of the wing. Trying to get a little bit of a gauge on the wing flex here on this 600, because the wing flex on the 700 to me seemed like it was a little bit, I don't know, choppy maybe? Just about TLQ. Just about everything on Ultra. Q8 Pilot did a video for Sim Update 9, which I'm still running. I'm not running Sim Update 10. And I basically have everything that he has in that settings video. It's not everything all the way to the right, but it's just about everything all the way to the right. Petrifi, what's up, man? Says, hey, everyone. Today I'm flying out of Australia to Dublin with stopovers. I'm so excited to be catching 2 A350s and a 321. Petrifi, that's awesome, man. My sister, I just mentioned when she went to Iceland, she was on a... Actually, no, she was going to somewhere. I think she was going to Europe on a 350. She went to Europe on a 350 as well a couple months ago. 350 1000, I think. XWB. We'll just keep hand flying it here with 310 knots in the climb out. Damn, it looks good. Mohammed T, what's up? Says, hi everyone, how does the Phoenix 320 flight model feel compared to the real thing? Does a hand flying feel realistic? Mohammed T, it does. And the only caveat I would say to that, you know, and within the confines of Microsoft Flight Simulator, a normal flight from A to B, just doing normal stuff, the Phoenix 320 flies very, very good. Now, when you start getting into abnormal situations like engine out scenarios and doing a single engine ILS and having the yaw moment with a single engine and high power settings, in my opinion, X-Plane is still superior as far as flight modeling goes. So for instance, like the Tolus, and in fact, the last couple streams I did when I was preparing for my recurrent training, I was in the Tolus aircraft. I chose it over the Phoenix because of that very reason. The hand flying characteristics in abnormal situations are superior in the X-Plane platform. As far as the Airbus is concerned, I haven't done any abnormals in the Boeing. But as far as A to B, flying the airplane in normal conditions, landing, yeah, it flies good. The only thing that drives me nuts, I mean, it's part of the sim, I imagine, is when you land in strong crosswinds, you can't use proper input because it kind of veers off the runway. It's almost like the rudder loses authority until the nose wheel hits the ground, and then it's boosted. So I've tried a couple different fixes. I still can't get it to fix for some reason, but maybe it's a hardware issue on my end. Tolus 321 and X-Plane is excellent. Oh yeah, Coyote now, or new. I don't know if I totally messed that up or if you're trying to say Coyote now, but yeah, the 321 is also fantastic. Basically, any Airbus and X-Plane is pretty darn good. I'm going to straighten out the line here. Let's make a direct to Romeve. So let's go legs. We're just going to go Romeve, execute. Straighten out the line. N1, LNAV, VNAV speed. We're still all over the place kind of in our speed, but I'm hand flying. I'm just trying to get a feeling for this airplane here at a higher speed, a little bit higher altitude. Look, I'm hands off. Just very small control inputs on the yoke. Flying it with 2 fingers essentially. Alright, that's about as much air show as I want to do. Kind of want to take a look at this airplane, enjoy the scenery here on the climb out. So we'll go ahead and engage Command A. N1, LNAV, nav speed, command A is on. Let's enjoy some engine views, shall we? Oh, look at that view. Let me go ahead and get this off the screen for you. Did Flight Deck to Sim reach out to you about a multi-crew stream? Jeremy, he's reached out multiple times. I've reached out to him multiple times. We always just seem we can't get anything aligned, you know, but I would absolutely love to do it at some point. It's got to happen. At some point, him and I would just got to say, look, we got to set a date. We got to get this figured out and do it, because I would absolutely love to do a multi-crew stream with him. We could fly like some crazy European segment in the Boeing, and then make him fly some crazy American segment in the Airbus. I think it'd be a hell of a stream. But it's just, you know, it's hard. Number one, time zones is a thing. Number two, both of our jobs are a thing. Scheduling is a thing. So it's hard to line up, but it'd be a hell of a stream, that's for sure. Can you please explain when you're supposed to switch altimeter to standard? KMZ, so you want to switch your altimeter to standard at the transition level. Now, in the US, anywhere in the 48 contiguous United States, it's at flight level 180, 18,000 feet is when you would switch to standard, climbing and descending. As you go to different countries, however, it can vary. One way to find out, number one, it'll tell you if you have it properly set up in your aircraft, it'll start flashing amber. But to actually find, why can't I, this is all kind of weird here. Let's go ahead and close this. No, I didn't want to do that. X out of U. So for instance, let's go to our destination airport. It'll be on the charts here. If we look at our approach chart, ILS Yankee 25, transition altitude is 7,000. Transition level is assigned by ATC. So without ATC, you know, you kind of just have to, you can mess with it. But transition altitude is 7,000. That's where you would find it located on the chart. But if you're in the US, it's flight level 180 everywhere you go. Look at, we're climbing at 2,600 feet a minute at 80 Mach. That's pretty darn good. That's pretty dang good. Definitely 319 status. It is bumpy though. Look at that wing. Yeah, the wing flex is aight. No more love for X-Plane. Non-stop, don't worry, my friend. X-Plane will be coming back. Do not worry, my friend. It will be coming back. X-Plane 12 will be coming strong. Callie Simmer coming in with 10 gifted memberships. Callie Simmer, huge shout out to you. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, if you do get a membership from Callie Simmer, make sure to give him a shout out. Say thank you to him. That is absolutely awesome. Thank you for your generous donation of memberships there, Callie Simmer. Appreciate you, man. For all the new members, if you're wondering what you get, exclamation point welcome will give you all the information on your new perks. Essentially, you get access to a V1 After Dark section in the public Discord, so it's for members only. You also get access to shorts videos that I do from real world flying, and you also get access to podcasts that I put out every so often. So, awesome stuff. Thank you so much, Callie Simmer. Appreciate you, man. How close is it to the barber pole right now? Well, right now we are a couple knots. What is it, 8.2 in this thing? 8.2 in the 7.3? I don't even know what MMO is. Is it published somewhere in here? We're leveling at 320, 80 Mach. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Let's go ahead and turn the sound down a little bit. Let's go outside. Let's see what it looks like. That's pretty cool. I'm going to have to mute the alert box again. Hold on. There we go. But I'll mute the alert box just for now. I'll also be listening to the seatbelt sign going on and off for the whole time. But Callie Simmer, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. I'm currently studying for my last 3 EASA exams. After this, I should be able to apply for some 320 jobs. Javier, awesome stuff, man. Congratulations. Those EASA exams are no joke. No joke, man. Let me see what we got here. Let me go over here. Let me go here. Pretty neat. Try to turn that down a little bit, right about there. We're getting bumped around a little bit, so we'll leave the seatbelt sign on for now. But man, that looks good, that little 600 of over the snow-capped mountains of South America. Hard to have realism when the wing bounces around like that. It does look a little, off to me, doesn't it? I usually add 1,000 feet to the transition altitude to get the transition level when not in the US, and transition level is assigned by ATC. There you go. That's a good method, Bill Barrett. There's showers around the Caliphate. Awesome, dude. Can't wait to see how it looks when we fly. We are real time, real weather again. We are finally headed northbound on the South America tour. Guys, I've had a ton of fun on this South America tour. This is probably, we're starting to round out. We're past the halfway point now. Oh, that's kind of a cool shot. Look at that. Definitely getting bounced around pretty good. But we're going to stop up here. Then I don't know if we're going to make it all the way to Buenos Aires on the next flight, but we're going to cover some ground going northbound, and then we'll eventually get up. I think we'll come through the islands and maybe hit Puerto Rico, San Juan, maybe go through there, St. Martin maybe, come up that way, and then go into Miami. And that will conclude the South America Tour 2022. Been absolutely awesome. Gaining a lot of subscribers on the tour, a lot of new members, a lot of new viewerships. Awesome. Flaps 40 speeds and the 600 can get very low. I think sub 120. Ooh, Ben, we're definitely going to do a flaps 40 landing on this one. What about Black Box V1? Maybe after summer when you both schedule better, you can stream with him as well. Andre, I would absolutely love to do a stream. I would love to do a stream with Black Box, but even more so, I just want to sit down, and not saying that I don't want to do a flight deck to sim either, but just because Black Box has been around so long, and like he's got way more experience than I do. So I would love to just sit down and have a podcast with him and just talk, his career, his progression, talking about different airplanes, and then of course, bring out the old war stories of things that have happened to him, things that have happened to me. And he just seems like, because he was the first pilot on YouTube that I ever watched, and it was in the Phoenix. I'm sorry, not the Phoenix. It was in the FS Labs on FSX. So he was the first pilot I ever watched on YouTube. So I would love to just hang out with him. Whoa, are we like in severe turbulence here? Why do we have a master caution? Off scheduled descent, that's because we dropped down so low. Let's see if we can climb above this. Let's go ahead and select 3-4. Let's do a level change to 340. Let's see if we can get out. We're going to do a speed intervention as well. We're going to dial it back to like 7-8 Mach. We're going to see if we can get a little smoother altitude here. It's definitely pretty bumpy out here. Got a shot like the lady from the video. I just love that 600 look, man. I think it's a little exaggerated, Max Parks, as far as the wing flex. Mr. Martini, good to see you, my friend. He says, loving the PMDG lately, but still a little fuzzing with the procedures flows atop a descent on the approach. Mr. Martini, yeah, it's, I'm right there with you, man. I still kind of fumble around. I kind of just have to think through things. I kind of fumble around. We ended up getting all done, but I'll try to be better about it on this stream, too. It's, we're going to set our bottom altitude. We're going to fly the descent down. We'll have our ILS ready to go. We're going to fly the arc in an LNAV. So basically it's going to be an FMS predicted arc, which we're going to fly. You could fly it round dials or round, with green needles. I don't even call it green needles in the Boeing. Maybe it'd be white needles. But we're gonna fly the arc in nav, and then we're going to join the ILS. Hopefully we'll be able to get some cool views there too on the descent. If you want to watch the severe turbulence approach during, have you watched the severe turbulence approach to Usaya? No, I didn't. Was there one, Diego? I did not watch that one. I've heard of lots of people, but never heard of Black Box. Is it spelled like that? Yeah, Black Box 711. What's your opinion about the flight model? I mean, physics of flight. I think it's pretty good. You know, Microsoft is pretty good in normal, in everything normal, right? In my opinion, when you start trying to do abnormal stuff in Microsoft, you can kind of see the lacking parts of the flight model, whether it be in yaw or just drag and, you know, maybe some lift coefficients. In X-Plane, it's what's really cool about X-Plane, and if you haven't even seen it, that 2 streams ago, I think it was maybe 3 streams ago now, was the first check ride prep video we did. You could just, with the click of a switch, you turn on the airflow, visible airflow vectors, and you can see the aerodynamic forces acting on the airplane and how they change with correlation to the flight control surface. You could see all that. So that, to me, really drives home the point about the flight model, and especially in abnormal situations when you have adverse yaw or anything abnormal, you really need a good flight model, or else it's easy to tell that it's not all there. Now, with that said, how many of you actually go around and fly single engine? Probably not that many. So it's, if you're just going to do normal A to B flying with 2 engines, you're going to love it. And then you combine it with the views that you get with this sim here. I love this little, what is this, masking around the cockpit? This is a sweet livery. No lie, this is a sweet livery. I really like this livery. But yeah, that's when you really start to notice it. But A to B normal stuff, I enjoy it, man. I enjoy this simulator, I really do. Ryan, what's up, man? Saturday is going well, my friend. Hope yours is as well. The physics is why I like X-Plane better, Tom. And that's, you know, you're with a lot of people are right there with you, you know. So that's why I'm flying a ton of Microsoft right now. Obviously, if you look at my channel, it's been pretty much all Microsoft except 2 streams in the last couple months. But when X-Plane 12 does release, you can bet that I will be right there flying our Tolless Airbuses, our Flight Factors, our A340, 600. Really, really want to fly that again. So Q400, King Air, good turboprops that we've got. So you can bet that we will be back in X-Plane 12. It's just my 11 is so far gone. Look, it's much smoother up here at 34. We can go ahead and go back to, let's go ahead and go back to 80 Mach. My X-Plane 11 is just, it's in need of a new install, and I'm not going to do it with 12 so close. Tom, you're a CFI, so I do like how it feels more real. There you go. Yeah, and if you're a CFI, obviously, you're going to be doing stuff that most general simmers probably aren't going to be doing. You know, how many of you, I always say, if you get a new airplane, go up, do some steep turns and stalls just to get a handle of it. But not many people actually do that. You know, one of the popular videos, or one of the popular streams that I would do on the channel, which maybe we should do again, is the flight test streams where, you know, whenever there was a new airplane that released, we would take it up and we would just do some basic airmanship skills. You know, we would do the steep turns. We would see how, you know, how much does the nose drop when you get that bank angle increase. And we'd do the stalls in both clean and dirty configurations. How much altitude can you expect to lose? What are the spool up times like? All those little basic airmanship maneuvers, quite popular actually. And one of the most fun ones I did was when we actually took the Beluga, the INI A300 Beluga up, and we did a flight test with that sucker. I literally thought I was flying a semi-truck with wings. You know, it was and it felt that way. So maybe we should probably get back into that at some point. Shaq Oatmeal, what is up, man? Watching live from the CRJ bin. Oh God. Number one, sorry that you're in the CRJ bin. Good to see you, Shaq, man. Hope all is well, dude. Hope they're not working you too hard out there, man. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're well. Yeah, Diego, drop it in the Discord, man. I'd love to check it out. Single engine IFR stuff, it's handy in Midwest winters. Oh yeah, definitely. IFR training, absolutely. Did you ever switch to large variant Airbus in the future? Max, depends, man. All depends, my friend. It's not just like, you know, what airplane do you want to fly? It's about what airplane provides you the quality of life that you want, you know? Just because you switch airframes, it doesn't mean that your quality of life stays the same. A lot of things change. But man, that thing looks good. Let's do a little cabin tour, shall we? Let's do a little cabin tour. So in order to do that, I got to kind of hack view myself back here. All right, so we're a little bit shorter. But that's all right. Looks pretty comparable to the 700. Although I do have a first class layout on this one in my custom 73600. We got the sky blue Boeing interior. What does that say? Welcome. Please touch screen to continue. Nope. Fake news. Nice seat texturing. Pretty good cabin though. Like, I think it's decent. Oh, when you did the Fearless 7.4, oh, with the crosswind, Alex 5150, absolutely right. That has to be my favorite replay view that I've ever done on stream. It was, I'm gonna have to find it and clip it and like pin it somewhere. So we did a flight test in the Fearless 747-200 in X-Plane, and it was just like insane amount of fun. And we did I forget what the crosswind was, 38 knots or something. Pretty substantial crosswind that we were messing with. And I put it down, almost had a pod strike, ended up going around, which we were going to go around anyways, a touch and go. But as soon as the gear came off the ground, you can see the airplane weather vane into the wind. You could see the wing drop, the black smoke pouring out the back. That, no doubt, Alex, was one of my favorite, if not favorite, X-Plane 11 moments. When we watched that replay, I got to see it from the runway view. We parked the camera on the runway view and we watched that touch and go. Just, it looked like it was straight out of Plane Spotters US or whatever all those YouTube spotting channels are. That's what it looked like. It was awesome. Man, I like these windows though. Are we over a lake? I want to refund until they model full in-flight entertainment. There you go. Get your $37 back, whatever it is. Let's see, it's 1 o'clock already? Man, we're gonna need some. Didn't even get lunch today. Paul Schoothsmith, what's up, man? Good to see you. Hope I'm not too late. Had to get Indian takeaway. Ooh, that sounds good, Paul. That sounds good. No, you're not too late at all, my friend. We are, well, you did miss the hell of a rocket climb out that we did in this airplane. Oh, look like there might be some clouds brewing on the horizon. Oh my gosh, that looks real. But yeah, the climb out performance, Paul, was insane. This thing was nuts. But we're going to do a flaps 40 landing. We're going to see what kind of performance it gets coming into Caliphate, Argentina. Should be fun. We're going to drop down the HUD too. We'll take a look at the HUD. I mean, the HUD is on the 700 as well, but I've never messed with the HUD. I'm not a huge fan of HUDs in civil aircraft. I just feel like it's almost information overload, you know? It's just like, well, you got too much going on. You got a HUD and your PFD. It's in the same view. It's just, I don't know. Maybe it's in the sim that I don't like them, but I don't know. HUDs in military aircraft, totally understandable, and that's the only thing you're looking at is your HUD. But, you know, you throw a HUD in a 7.3, it's like, what? Why? I mean, you can get down lower on hand-flown Cat 3 approaches. That's why Horizon operates them for Alaska on the Q400s. They use the HUDs, but there's actually some 190s that have HUDs flying around, too. Jungly Sim, what is up, my friend? I'm so tempted it's in the basket. Jungly. $37, my friend. Look at this short little potato, man. Jungly, this is why you're gonna hit submit. I don't even know why I'm trying to convince you. It's like this is not a sponsor plug, but this 737-600 Jungly is gonna be my pseudo 73500, my mini 7.3. Throw the eyebrow windows on it like this. I could fly the old Southwest, old America West, old US Airways when the paint jobs start popping out for this airplane. It's going to be my little retro 7.3 study level airplane. So, because yeah, I mean, I could 600, whatever. I don't even know if I've flown on a 600 in real life, but I've flown on 500s and 400s and 300s and 200s. So this is going to be my little retro placeholder. And the no winglets. I mean, how sweet does that look with no winglets, huh? Diego, South America is on the list, my friend. I already told the wife. I said, look, our next vacation, we're legit trying to get down to South America, maybe even as far south as Ushuaia. Do you need a HUD to shoot a Cat 2, Cat 3? Tom, you do not need one, but for hand flown, you can fly a hand flown Cat 3 with a HUD. So now you have an alert height that's a little bit different, and I think, and I could be wrong, Tom, I'm pretty sure it's a Cat 3. So the reason that Horizon has them in their Q400 is because they can't do an auto land. So to do a Cat 3 auto land, you have to have auto land, obviously. But if you have a HUD, you can do maybe it's a Cat 2 down to like an alert height that's much lower than a standard Cat 1 ILS. Maybe it's a Cat 2 hand flown to like 50 feet or something. But I know that was the main reason why they put the HUDs in the Q400s up there in the Pacific Northwest, is because the airplane couldn't do an auto land, but they wanted to get lower on the minimums. So that's where the HUD comes into play. Now, as far as a HUD on like a 7.3, no, you don't need a HUD to do an auto land. You don't need a HUD on an Airbus to do an auto land. Don't need a HUD on an Embraer to do an auto land. Is the aircraft worth its price? SEMA, in my opinion, for me, it is. It's $37. You get everything that you would get with a 700. You get a smaller, sportier Boeing. But if you want to just recreate real-world flights, probably not going to be the airplane for you, because there's very limited as far as real-world liveries and real-world operation of the airplane. Unless you want to fly Janet, Jungly, you just got Las Vegas, so Jungly, you can fly a real-world Janet route in a 737-600. But if you're a strict, like, hey, I want to fly real liveries on real airplanes in the sim, you're going to be pretty limited with the Dash 600. But for someone like me, who I like the looks of the 600, I like the performance of the 600, I want to throw some retro liveries on the 600, I'm happy with it. I will probably fly this more than the 700. Definitely I'll fly it more than the 800, if I even get the 800. I don't know if I'll get the 800. I'll probably get the 900, just because that's cool. It's a longer airplane. The 800 is just so middle of the road, you know. It's kind of like that. I don't know how to think of a good analogy, but the 800 to me is just kind of like I don't know. It's like having a Tesla right now in Silicon Valley. I mean, everybody's got them. Phantom, where you at? You know, a couple of years ago, when Tesla dropped, it was like, oh, it's awesome, sweet. Now it's like, yeah, everybody, yeah, you got a Tesla, cool. Everybody got, yeah, Tesla, cool. Maybe not quite that analogy, because Teslas are still pretty cool, but I have to think of a better one. Maybe it's like the Civic, you know, like somebody said Camry. It's kind of like a Honda, you know. 800 is just kind of like a Honda. You see them everywhere. Do you double take when you see a Honda? Probably not. All right, how we doing up here? We are starting to turn. Ooh, look at this little GoPro view, as XP likes to call it. Kind of neat. We'll go a little bit further, then we're going to start prepping for our descent. That's kind of a cool view. The Supra? Yeah, Toyota Supra. Oh man, I raced a Toyota Supra one night, allegedly. And I thought I had a fast car. I thought I was standing still, man. Back in the OG Fast and Furious original. The Fast and the Furious original. I mean, me and my buddies, we try to live that out on a daily basis. Probably wasn't the smartest thing. Highly don't recommend it, but I do have a passion for cars as well. Used to. I say I used to. I really used to. I still kind of do. Like, I appreciate nice cars when I see them. And I appreciate high performance vehicles, but not near as much as I did back in the day. These clouds are just looking so dang good. I don't know where to park the camera. Everywhere I turn, it's just juice. Orange Supra, yep. So I wanted to start a company with my best friend and call it Cinema Customs, CC. And basically all we were going to do was, if you saw a car that you liked in a movie, we were going to make it and fabricate everything for it, whether it's a body kit, performance-wise, whatever it was, to make it identical to what you saw in the movie. That's what we were going to originally do. That was going to be my first business. That was quickly shot down. But I still think that'd be cool. I'm sure there's a place that does it now. You can probably just go to any custom car shop. But quarter mile at a time, Paul Schuthmis. Exactly, dude, exactly. I had an 11-second Mustang, which back then, that was fast. That was a street car. It was my daily driver. It was 11-second quarter-mile car. That was super fast back in the day. Now, shoot. Cars are coming off the line, production line, stock, running 11s, running 10s. It's crazy. My daily driver now, Max Parks, it's completely opposite. I drive an AT4 GMC. I drive a truck. It's a 2500. But we live on a pretty rough road, so it's got an off-road package on it. I was going to level it, but I tow a lot too, so I actually have to keep the factory rake on the truck. But yeah, I drive a truck now, diesel, Duramax. It would have been hard to get a flux capacitor for that special customer. Yeah, exactly, Alex. Timeout Jex says I grew up around cars. Dad has a 2011 Mustang making roughly 1,900 horsepower. Oh my gosh, haven't had a hub dyno yet. Haven't had it on a hub dyno yet. Nice Timeout, Jake. That's awesome. Bob Lee Swagger says the 5.0 was my dream car growing up. Ended up with a pickup. Oh yeah, 5.0. I raced a couple of those, a couple of Fox body Stangs with the 5.0 in there. You stick out too much if you don't drive a truck in Texas. Exactly. It's pretty much a requirement. How are we looking? How are we looking on our we're going to go until we are about 80 miles. Let's go progress page. 92 miles from top of descent. We're 170 miles out. As soon as we hit about 50 miles to top of descent, we'll start our prep. It seems pretty smooth here. Let's go ahead and turn the seatbelt sign off while we can. Let them roam. Enjoy some more wing views. I don't know. I could watch the wing view too, but because it's a 600, I like looking at the outside view right now. I mean, that's a pretty cool shot. Zoom it way in for you. There you go. Look at those squashed engines. New Mustang or new Challenger? Ooh. I don't know. I don't love the new Mustangs. I really don't. Might have to go with the Challenger on that one, man. Why do a lot of pilots balloon their landings? All 3 of my flights in real life, this happened. Interesting FS Aviation. I don't know. Maybe they just kind of gust a wind. Maybe they're trying to butter it out. Maybe they've been playing too much flight sim. Normally we don't try to balloon. Dream car was a Diablo growing up. Now I flex with the Expedition to haul the kids around. Refuse to drive a minivan. There you go. So Tyson, yeah, my wife has. She's like, just yesterday or 2 days ago, she's like, I understand why people have minivans, and I said, nope, no, you don't. Not happening. We will not have a minivan. She's got a Explorer, one of the new Ford Explorers. So it's got enough seats in it, but when you load up all the dogs and the kids, it is like, if we had another kid, we'd probably have to get something even bigger. But I can see the ease of a minivan, and maybe my opinions will change as my kids get older, but I just can't do it, man. Can't do it. I drive by a 9250 on the way to work. That's for sale. Very tempting. Ooh, that would be tempting, man. It's just dangling out there in front of you. I think next stream we're gonna have to be in the 146, right? We gotta give the 146 some love. We haven't been in that airplane in a long time. All right, we are. Ever flown to Detroit in real life? Many, many times. FS Aviation, many times. 75 miles to go. We got our arc there on the ND, or MFD, is that what they call it? We're looking good. Auto throttle is doing its thing. Our fuel is doing its thing. 4.1, 4.2. Do a little systems check. Brake temps look good. Everything up here is good. Cabin is pressurized. That looks a little close. Oh, you know what? I never changed this to 340. Son of a... Whoops. Sorry. 1930 got me there. Forgot to change that up. Everything else looks good though. Mentor Pilot has a video of why the engines are flattened out. It's for the gearbox, right? So they could fit the accessory gearbox on there. They had to squash it because the gear is too short. Something like that. Have I flown the Hot Rod 2 Arrival? Just flew that in the 900. Oh yeah. Flew the Hot Rod. Oh yeah, definitely, man. I remember when that Arrival first came out. It's a relatively new RNAV. Ford exited the market in my country, so only pre-used ones available, or I need super rich to import one. Oh yeah, it gets expensive if you try to start importing cars. Ooh, you thought the 32NX was going to be next flight? Oh man. There's the real fake pilots. Yeah. Man, I'll have to put the vote to the members. I will put the vote to the commercial members. We'll have another vote for the next stream on Monday. It will either be the 146 or the fly-by-wire 320. Man, I wish Phoenix would just come out and surprise us. Be like, hey, here's your IE engines and sharklets on Monday. Wouldn't that be cool? Al W says, could a perception of ballooning in real life just be the pilot trying to make the landing comfortable for the passengers? Yeah, definitely, Al. I mean, I think ballooning from a passenger standpoint may not even be ballooning at all. It's just, it feels different when you're in the back. Like you think that the flare, you feel like you're maybe starting to balloon or float. A true balloon, though, would be when the airplane actually starts to gain altitude after you've entered the flare. That would be a balloon. So, you know, you can float it if you flare and you just hold altitude. A balloon, you literally have to climb back up in that flare. I would say it's pretty rare that happens, you know, unless you're really battling some gusty winds, especially a really, really strong headwind. If you get a big, strong headwind right over the wings, what is that going to do? It's going to increase your lift, right? It's going to bring the airplane up a little bit, so got to be ready for that. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but man, that last A320 flight that I was on, as a passenger, I posted the video in the Discord for the members. It's like, I thought we were going to smash. I mean, at 50 feet, I could feel the airplane just flying. Like, oh my gosh, we are going to absolutely smash this. And then there's a female flying. She actually saved it right at the end. You could feel that it was saved because it was like an aggressive flare, and then it just kind of held it and touched down. That's kind of the oh shit flare, you know, that we talk about. I hate it when guys do that. That's why I'm getting gray hairs, man. If you're a new pilot out there, you're going to become an FO, please don't practice the oh shit flare because it makes your captains old quicker. Alex said I'll definitely call in sick. That was to happen this weekend. Yeah. I got next week off from actual work. I got some other things I'm taking care of, but yeah, I would definitely make some time for it. All right, let's go ahead and start looking at this arrival. So we said Whiskey Charlie 336 should be at flight level 130 or 13,000. So let's dial that in before we forget it. Let's dial in 13,000. What's better, Ford Mustang or Chevy Camaro? Ford Mustang, Diego. Ford Mustang. Ford Mustang. The older ones. Anything prior to like 2000 and... When did they change the body style to like that? Was it 2008? Nah, I have to look it up. Oh, I missed it. 13,000 is set. Let's go back to VNAV speed. All right, VNAV speed, FMC speed is what it's called. LNAV, VNAV path. 13,000 is set. Why are we starting down? Why are we starting down? I guess we're starting down early. That's fine. 100,000 feet per minute till we intercept. That's fine. It'll be a better view. So we got 13,000 set. We're going to do auto brake 2. Let's go back to the init ref. We'll do a flaps 40 for cinematic purposes. That's a 124, so we'll bug 129. Flap 40, bug 129. ILS is 108.9 and 252. So let's set 108.9. Nope, just one flight today. 108.9. And final approach course we said was 252. I don't think it's a step descent. I think I just initiated the descent early. Let's do our vertical profiling. Yeah. I don't know why. What if I scroll this back up to like 32, see if I can get there in time. I didn't want to start down just yet. Boeing doing Boeing things. If I set 32,000, MCP altitude hold 320. Did I hit Altinit? I don't think so. Because if we look at the prog page, we're still 26 miles to top of descent. So we'll just hang on to it for a little bit. We've got 252 set on our MCP over here. For the FO, let's set up the arc so we can back it up. So it's going to be off the Caliphate VOR, which is 114.7. Oh, I never changed my cruise altitude in the FMS. Thank you. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. Never changed cruise altitude in the FMS. All right, 114.7 is the VOR that the arc is off of. So we're going to dial that in right here, 114.7. That way we'll get some DME to that. We kind of back up the computers. So it says a 17 DME arc all the way around. And you can see it's properly drawn out here quite nicely actually on the PFD. That looks good. Looks like there might be some type of smart turn situation happening there. Go plan mode. Let me zoom in on it. It's interesting. It might struggle on that turn inbound, but we'll keep it there. We'll see what happens. 13,000 or above. Let me go back down here. Where's my init? Climb, cruise. 320 is set. Let's go map mode. Let's go ahead and go back to VNAV. Let's see what she wants to do. VNAV path. 320 is still set. We're holding altitude. Let's dial in 13,000 now. 13,000 is set. TOD is armed. 252 is set. We got to get a barrow here in a minute. Man, look at that. Now we've left pretty much all of the mountains are left behind. Still enjoying those some nice clouds over there. I was hesitant about the Mach E at first, but after seeing a few driving around, I'm sold. Really? Mr. Martini, this is what I mean. Sometimes descent happens when you expect it, next time when it spreads you. Well, Mr. Martini, this time I know why. So what happened was I was in speed intervention. So I was in like a MCP speed. We climbed up to 34,000 feet. I never changed my cruise altitude. I then re-engaged a VNAV with 13,000 set. So that basically said, hey, initiate the descent early down to 13,000. So it was descending at 1,000 feet per minute. What I should have done is I should have come down here to the cruise page, re-cruised it to 340. Then I could have done VNAV. It would have held altitude, then set 13,000 and it wouldn't go down. So it's just Boeing being Boeing, but it actually, to my knowledge, it did it correctly. That was a pilot error. So right now we should capture this TOD though, because we're armed up with 13 set approaching TOD right now. Matter of fact, you can kind of track it here. Progress says 5 miles out. Let's get a quick barrow while we're looking at it. 832 on the barrow. Oh, over here. And we're doing barrow mins of 832. Blame it on Phantom, exactly. Gosh, these things take forever to spin up. 832 is set. There we go. So retard, LNAV, VNAV, engines are coming back. Top of descent is reached, my friends. Look at that cute little 7.3. Listen to those spool back. Ooh. Love that wing without a winglet. The steampunk Boeings, man. Exactly. On an Airbus going above cruise would have updated the McDo cruise altitude. Exactly, Chaos. You're exactly right. So in the Airbus going above your planned cruise altitude, it will automatically re-cruise it for you, and it gives you a nice little message in the box that says new cruise altitude. But because we are in the 1930 aircraft, we got to do it manually. Are you allowed to use QNH even though your information was in hectopascals? You can, yeah, as long as it's the same. Because it's the same, you just have to convert it. You just have to be wary of what's being used and what you're setting. So typically, you know, if we, for me, flying down in South America, because we use QNH, or I'm sorry, what am I trying to say? Well, instead of using inches of mercury, we'll switch over to QNH because they have the little toggle selector. Because sometimes air traffic control will just give it to you like pressure is 1013 or 1025 instead of 29 or 76, whatever it may be. So you can do the conversion. It doesn't really matter. It'd probably be outlined in an SOP depending on who you work for, but you just want to make sure whatever you're using, that the other guy is using it too, and you're using the proper minimums or whatever. Sweet Myth, you're going to wait for the 800, 900. There you go. A lot of people are going to do that very thing. What's your initial opinions on the 600? Should I buy it if I already have the 700 or wait for the 800? Miso, honestly, it is such a personal choice. It's hard for me to give you an opinion on what you should do. But my opinion for myself, kind of said it before, I was like, I am going to use this airplane as like a pseudo retro 737-500. So I'm going to be very happy to put the Southwest livery on it and pretend it's a 500. I'm going to put the America West livery on it. U.S. Airways. You know, I want a short, stubby little Boeing without winglets that has killer performance. You know, climb performance, acceleration, and all that. Very similar to a 319 when you kind of look at the two. So that's where I'm going to be using this airplane. That's what I'm excited for. Now, if you want to just fly real-world flights with real-world airlines, there's not many operators that even operate the 600 anymore. So it just depends on what you're looking for to get out of your sim. As far as how does it run compared to the 700, very comparable. I mean, the frames are excellent. Everything's excellent as far as performance is concerned. Runs really well. Livery manager, it's a piece of cake. Same thing as the 700. So in my opinion, for me, it's worth it. But that's because I'm okay using it for retro stuff. As an Xbox simmer, I'm more than happy to fly the 600 at this point. Yeah, I hear you, man. Dustin, what's up, man? Good to see you. Papa Tango, what's up, man? I just saw your dono there. Appreciate you. Says Slow V1, it's great to be able to watch the stream again. How was dodging summer storms been, and how many certified or canceled flights have you had? I'm not lucky enough to have any canceled flights. I haven't had any canceled flights in a while. If your flight gets canceled by dispatcher similar, what do you do if you're on your duty? You sit there and wait for scheduling to reschedule you. Enjoy your 600. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for the $5 dono. Very much appreciated. All right, there's 17,000. We are out of transition altitude. We're down to 1.3. We can go ahead and continue our descent now. We can set 2,900 actually at the very bottom. So let's set 2,900. And I'm going to go speed intervention. I'm going to come all the way back here. 250, speed brakes out. because we missed our restrictions, I think, there. Alright, speed brake is out. Let's get flight recorder up. Time to go to work. Wow, this came up quick. We were just sitting there talking, enjoying the views. Recording is ready. We're coming back to 250. I'm sure there might be another restriction on there. And I'm actually going to come all the way back. Let's come back to like 210. Fly with the HUD. See, the HUD to me, I mean, you can see the track where you're supposed to be going and everything. Man, it just seems like a lot of information. My seat is not proper either. Like, I need to be... I don't know, I can't get my seat correct. Well, now it's way too high. Maybe like there. That's the ILS course. You can see it dialed in. We need to come all the way back, though. We are screaming in here. Now all my views are messed up. Damn it. There we go. And we're supposed to be at 9,000 or above there. Let's go ahead and go flaps 5. Flaps 2, I should say. Now we go flaps 5. Have you ever simmed in China? I have. We did a whole Asia Pacific tour. We have indeed. All right, let's go ahead and can we? So now the question is, can we arm the approach here? I'm gonna wait till we're a little bit further out, or further in, I should say. We are still high on profile, man. We are way high on profile. Coming out of the turn, we were supposed to be on 5,500 at Whiskey Charlie 3-3. Yeah, there's no way we're gonna make it down. Alright, we're gonna have to discontinue the approach, so we're gonna have to do a manual heading here. We'll give ourselves a vector. Go ahead and select heading. We need to get down. Final approach fix altitude is 2,900. We'll keep 3,000. We're gonna break off the approach. 5,000 feet high is not what I want either. Yeah, no, we were way high on that. Should be completely idle. We are idle. We go flaps 15 without the gear warning horn, or is that gear warning horn at flaps 15? We're gonna find out. Ah, all right, up. Jeez. Yeah, flaps 10 and speed brake, that's all we got. Come on, let's make it. We're gonna give ourselves our own vector here. See the airport over there. See the airport right there. If you're coming in high and fast, do you request a hold pattern to bleed off speed and altitude? No, you probably have to go around. You might be able to get a couple of delay vectors, but most of the time ATC is driving you down, right? So when you're flying solo online like this, or maybe you're flying into an airport that doesn't have air traffic control, then yeah, absolutely, you need to be right on top of your descent profile. I was clearly not on top of it today. Well, we're going to extend out. It actually intercepted that arc just fine. We're not on profile. We should have let it go down when we first got here. Like it was, or when we first started down, remember it started down on its own, or because I messed it up? I should have just kept it that way. Alright, let's go ahead and see if we can, I don't know if it'll join. Let's see, we're going to turn left, and let's go approach mode. Final approach course, glide path. We're catching it. We're at 2,000 feet above and coming down, so we're catching it. For 600, I would expect a little bit better descent performance. Unacceptable. 319 is better. Should have flown the bus. I mean, a lot harder to get in this situation in the bus, in my opinion. In the 19, anyway. You got to be trying. All right, there we go. We're coming on path. We've got the glide path. It's captured. Final approach course should be coming in here pretty soon. Runway's in sight. Beautiful day. Final approach course is captured. Oh yeah, we're not going to forget a GNAR. By any chances we fly the MD-82? I have it. No, probably not though. It's just it's too much of a pain in the butt to update, to get liveries for. No. It's, in my opinion, it's not. No, it's sad. I might fly it in a while, in some time from now. But the way that Leonardo just came out, carbon copied it from P3D, just like, nah, man, come on, man. I'm not saying I'll never fly it, because there are some pretty sweet liveries that I would love to fly with it, but gotta figure out how to update it first. Instead of using speed and intervention to slow down, you should set the target speed in FMC, that way it doesn't level off to slow down. I got you, Nick. I used speed intervention when I was climbing out. I just wanted to slow down a little bit because of the turbulence. But yeah, probably should do it in the McDo or in the FMC. Hayden, what's up, man? Good to see you. Welcome. Is FAC the Boeing equivalent for LOC and Airbus? No. Boeing does have a LOC, but because this is like an FMC approach here. We are on, I could probably go here. Probably not though, because we're already captured. So a FAC, or final approach course, is a GPS predicted final approach course. It's not an actual localizer. Now this is kind of like I'm doing an overlay approach. I'm doing it in nav mode. If I would have hit VOR, if I would have loaded up, matter of fact, I think if I would have loaded up both approach courses, then maybe it would have captured, right? Because if I do 252 and, what was it, 1089. What did we load? I thought for sure we loaded ILS Yankee. Yeah, it should be localizer glide slope if you're using ground-based nav aids. Right now we're using the FMS-based nav aids. Or FMS predicted approach course. Alright, flaps 40, 124 is our speed. We can stay at 160 for now. We're looking good. The sounds are really nice. There you go, Nick. There you go. Nick has the answer for you. It's the 7-3 way of creating a 3-degree glide slope and localizer of an RNAV. So in Airbus speak, whoever was asking it, it would actually be the Boeing equivalent to final app mode. So in the Airbus, when you do an RNAV, you get final app. If you're allowed to fly in final app, which is how it was designed, you would get final app. That's the equivalent to a FAC glide path in the Boeing. All this shows that Airbus is better than Boeing. No comment. I'm liking the sound right now, though. It sounds like I can hear the engines a little bit more in this one. Maybe that makes sense because I guess you're closer to the engines. Kind of like a 319. A 319, I did this just the other day. I was hand flying my 319 in on final. Beautiful day. Manual thrust. And I could hear, you're so close to the engines on the 319, you can literally hear like a half a N1 or a half a VPER change, like or half a percent change. That's how, if you're listening, you can really hear it. 320, 321, forget it. So I wonder if the 600 is kind of similar. Like you really hear those subtle changes. If you're looking over here, you kind of see, not changing all that much, but you can really hear that audible decibel change. Hudson Markle, now that is the $1,000,000 question. I am not sure. I think it's because of the way I armed the approach and loaded it from the RNAV. So, but Hudson, that's why I need Flight Deck to sim here, because I don't know why it went to FAC and glide path when indeed we loaded the ILS Yankee.
But it should be not small. 34 turning an ILS.
Caliphate traffic, Bourbon 357. We're on a 8-mile final for 25 Caliphate. Oh, I can see him back there. That looks pretty cool. Alright, I'm going to hand fly it. Autopilot's coming off. I'm going to bug 124. Or no, 129, right? We had 5. Auto throttle off. My thrust levers. Let's go gear down. Let's get the recording on. Flaps 15. Flaps 25. It'd be nice if you could actually stay on your path. Let's go ahead and get a YoCam on. Oh yeah, let's go bird mode, shall we? Give me the bird. Turn our flight director off so we can actually see what's going on. Flaps 40. Wow, look at the drag. Look at that. Flaps 40 in the Boeing is so sweet. I mean, it looks like a barn door out there. Trying to get back on the path here. There we go. Now we're on it. Now we can kind of get it nosed over. Should we do a HUD landing? Basically, I think you have to put the circle in the circle, right? Is that the whole deal? To me, it's like information overload, but... So why would my circle not be...
1,000.
1,000 feet stable, clear to land? I gotta do some more studying on the HUD on this airplane, but... If I were to put the circle in the circle, we would be low. I wonder if that's a Microsoft thing, because this is a custom scenery, because I can see down here, I'm right on it. So we're gonna just split the difference. HUD is misaligned. Oh, okay, well that's really going to throw me off then. Let's get rid of the HUD. Probably need track IR for that. Yeah, you can see we got a little bit high here. Let's go ahead and get some power out. Get right back on the slot. we're back in the slot now.
100.
A little bit slow.
Approaching minimums. 30. 20. 10.
I'll take it. Didn't seem like the smoothest landing. I'll go manual brakes. Let it roll. $70 knots. We'll take this next one. Beautiful. I'll take it. What was the touchdown? Anybody see it? I'm not quite sure. I don't know how to judge my landings in the 7.3 yet. Didn't seem like a super juice butter, but I'll take it. 187? Not bad, not bad. I'll take it. Thank you, Chaos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Caliphate. Am I saying that right? Something must be wrong with the QNH. Let me hit B again. No, it says it's 10.009. All right, let's go ahead and clean it up. We can re-extend the flaps for replay. Love the spoiler animation there. Awesome, 10 for 10. Looks like that guy's touching down over there. Cool. Yeah, 7.3s are not the softest on landing. I agree with you. Let's go. We're going to leave the lights on because we don't want to listen to the switch sounds. But these flap sounds, I think, sound different too, don't they, than the 700? They seem a little bit more strained. Listen to him straining. And we're going to go straight in, too. We're going to just park it straight in right here. We're going to leave our lights on, though, for replay purposes. Man, if we ever do some Canada flying, we're going to fly this livery again. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's that blue and the gray with a hint of red right here that I just really like. I like the gray engines with the KF there. Really like it. All right, let's get back on the line here. Oh. A VAM now in. Blast your landing rates across Discord. Pressure is on now. Uh-oh. All right, full brakes to deploy the parking brake. Neat little addition there. That's cool. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Caliphate. Should we shut it down? And then we're going to do this. We're going to do it since we're doing a full test. What I'm going to do is I'm going to connect ground power real quick. Let's listen to the shutdown sounds. GPU carts. Next GPU cart. Ground power. Oh, I need chocks. Request. Connecting. And then we're going to shut it down, and then I'm going to do a state save and try to do the replay. We'll see how, because the 700 is very good at being compatible with my replay program. And I think that's a big part for a lot of people is having a good replay. So let's take a look. Do I ERP in real life? I did the other day, man. First time ever. It was awesome. All right. Ground power is on. We're going to leave the lights on again, like I said, because we don't want to listen to the switches. But let's go ahead and shut her down. We'll listen to the shutdown sounds here. Not terrible. What'd the FO say? Nothing. He just kind of looked at me like I had two heads. There we go. We are here. We got a Neo parking. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Don't see anybody on short final yet. So let's go ahead and now this is how I would do the replay. So what I used, everyone asks me all the time, it's flight recorder is what I use. And now to get the replay, you want to reconfigure. So what I'm going to do here, and this kind of shows you the state saving thing. So I'm going to go FS actions. Oops, no, I'm not FS actions. Excuse me. I'm going to go back to return to menu, PMDG setup, panel state load. So I want to load basically a runway state. Execute. So this is going to fire up my engines. Okay, it's going to fire up my engines. Flaps 5. Now I'm going to manually extend flaps full. I could reset my auto brake to 2 like it was. Flaps are going to extend. I'm going to put you guys into replay mode. And let's see how this replay handles. Errant is, yeah, exactly. What was the landing rate on that? I can't see the overlay on my screen. Oh, I've been recording this whole time. Son of a gun, I thought I stopped it. All right. Let's go ahead and watch it. Let's go ahead and go replay mode. And see, just like that, engines are on, everything is on, flaps are out, we're slowing down. Let's take a look at this. Ben, does that final setting set you in the air though? That's the only reason I didn't select it. Or is it just final panel state, meaning flaps down? But see, this is a pretty seamless integration with the flight recorder that I use for replay. Gear is all down, everything looks good. Checking for any bugs. Let's, ooh, look at that reflection there off the wing. How was the yoke for you? Do you like it so far compared to the honeycomb? Andre, I do. I love it. I love it compared to the honeycomb. But what I really, really love about it is using it in conjunction with the Honeycomb Bravo trim wheel, because the combination of having an actual trim wheel and a yoke, you can trim away control pressures very nicely. And I assume you could do the same with the Alpha, with the Honeycomb. But I do love the TCA Boeing yoke. It's so smooth on that pitch axis. I even use it on my Cessna 310 and stuff, which is kind of like, might make somebody cringe, but really can't complain with the TCA Boeing yoke. It's very expensive for what you get as far as, you know, quality and feel of it. But the internals feel absolutely solid, so it's not overpriced, but it's close. It's because it's an expensive piece of hardware. I think it's what, close to $400, so you could almost get a throttle box. You could almost get a mini throttle box for that. Take it. I don't want to deploy the spoilers. Oh, there they go. Nice. Right, those come out. Very nice. That's the wing I like right there. That wing view right there with the reverser out, no winglet, and the spoilers up. Love it. And I could just rewind it. We'll go resume. I think spoilers will stay up. Nope. Spoilers will come down in the PMDG. It's only the Phoenix that they stay up. That's cool. All right, let's see how we did here. A little bit, not bad for my first ever approach in the 600, but a little bit unstable there. We're kind of unstable on final, a little high, a little low, a little slow. But we salvaged it here. Let's take a look at the touchdown. Not bad. That looks like a 180. Nice center line. Very nice center line. Oh, yeah. Sick livery, man. Ooh, look at the green in there. That's cool. I didn't notice that before. It's more durable than the honeycomb yoke. Yeah, I would agree with you there, Captain McGee. It is definitely more. That's why I got it, because my honeycomb stopped working. So, all right, cool deal. We're going to resume replay here. I'm going to get sail on for you here. We're going to turn the sim down a little bit here. I'm going to let you guys enjoy a couple replays here. Guys, I hope you enjoyed seeing a little 737 action on the channel. We fly a ton of Airbus. If you're wanting to see more Airbus, have no fear. There's going to be plenty more Airbus coming right at you. I think for the next stream, it's either going to be the fly-by-wire Neo or the BAE 146 as we continue northbound through Argentina up the eastern side of South America. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you for tuning in with me on this Saturday afternoon. Hope to see some pictures of the 737-600 in the Discord. If you guys ever do decide to pick it up, post those pictures, because I think it is the proper Boeing wing right there. Look at that big old slat hanging off, no winglet out there. Almost as good as a 757 without winglets. I love that when the slats are hanging out and there's no winglet out there. Something about that view brings back childhood memories, I guess. That's why I like it so much. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Enjoy your weekend. Until Monday, I'm V1. See ya! All right. Well, sim crashed. So much for that replay. Rip. Second sim crash I've ever had in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Oh well. Enjoy it. Have a good one, guys. See you. Second sim crash I've ever had in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Oh well. Enjoy it. Have a good one, guys. See you.